Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and we are thrilled to have in the studio with us our friends from the Gifted Blind Artists, Crafters, and Knitters joining us. Pearl, pronounce your last name.
It's pronounced Mecenas.
Just like it sounds over there. Pearl is the founder of the organization, joined by her colleague, Jennifer Finlan, pottery and watercolor and everything in between, working with the organization. How you doing, Jennifer?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having us today.
Absolutely. So I'll start with you on this, Pearl. Talk about the mission of the organization, when it was founded, and so forth.
Great. Thank you, Drew. The mission of the organization is to celebrate the talents of blind and low vision artisans through art, music, and handmade gifts. We appear in the community in different ways. We show up in cafes, universities, and Balboa Park, and it gives the public an opportunity to meet the artisans and shop their collection. I launched the website about 4 years ago now. We're going to be approaching our 4th anniversary. October 2021 was when it was founded.
What was the passion behind it? Why were you so interested in this?
You know, my husband, his mother was ill at the time, we were making regular trips to India. And so we tried to schedule our time around the moments she was awake, which, wasn't a lot of time. So we tried to find activities around the community that allowed us to experience the local neighborhood, but still leave us close to home. And so my husband, who is an avid runner, actually found a running group in India, and they were looking for guides. So he ran with them, and that really opened up our opportunity in India to tour different blind institutes. I got a chance to see how India approached their blind and low vision community by educating, housing them, and even finding employment for them. At the time, I was working for a national healthcare organization, and I was at a turning point. I had spent a number of years there, and my husband encouraged me to do something more meaningful with my MBA. So I returned to San Diego, did some research, came across the Blind Institute, other organizations like the Blind Community Center of San Diego, served on the board, met wonderful people like Jennifer and others that are part of the Gifted Back team, who I'll mention in a moment, and realized that they were making these beautiful things. And what were they doing with them? They were keeping them in their closet or gifting them to family and friends. So I thought, gosh, this is an opportunity to really showcase their talents. And what was missing was giving them an opportunity to do that. And so I paired my skills in consulting, project management, business development with their talents, and thus Gifted Back was born.
Right. Do you work with the Center for the Blind at all? Work with those guys?
I don't. I'm familiar with them. We collaborate with Center for the Blind,
right.
The BCCSD, and the Braille Institute. So I certainly have a connection to all of them.
Right, exactly. So Jennifer, you discovered this great group how many years ago?
I have been with Gifted Back since the inception of it, so from the very start.
Right, exactly. What do you like most about it?
I love that I am able to showcase my ceramics and share it with my love of ceramics with everybody, with selling my ceramic roses that I make, and also with doing workshops in the community. I do workshops on how to make roses and how to make bowls and how to paint different pieces of art with different centers in the community, like with the University of San Diego and the Braille Institute.
So then you mentioned here you lost your vision in 2012, so 13 years ago. But certainly you had your site before then, okay? And so you had some ideas of what some of the colors look like. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes. It's so lucky that I did have sight. And I know what colors and what things look like. So when I'm making things, everything is made by hand. I hand build stuff, and I do it from memory.
Yeah. So let me ask Pearl, are some of the folks you work with, have they been blind since birth, or is it all over the board?
It's all over the board. So I have a range of 9 artisans that I work with. And I'll take this moment to do a shout out to all of them, because Jennifer is certainly one of 9 artisans. So I have an author, Mark Carlson, Jill Coleman, who does crafts, Salvador Dominguez, who's known for his paracord braiding, Sean Mackey, who is our resident MC and DJ, Marianne Mesa, who does knits, Joyce Porter, who does crafts and jewelry. And I recently added 2 artisans from the Orange County area, Natalie Warren, who specializes in music, and then Renee Vasquez, who does mosaic art.
No, I think that's fantastic. And so, Jennifer, you work with some of these folks, correct?
I do.
Right, exactly. And, I think, the kindred spirit of working with folks that have low vision or totally blind, really important. How have you grown in your mind ever since working with Gifted Back?
The way that I have grown is just being out in the community and being able to be out and be an advocate for the blind and low vision, to be a voice for them. And Gifted Back gives me the platform to do that.
It's no matter what, whether you're blind or have low vision or you have you're hard of hearing or you're deaf or pick a topic. There's so much opportunity to showcase the work that you're doing. We love having on the show folks that come from different organizations that work with the developmentally disabled, whether it's St. Madeleine Sophie Center out in East County or wherever the case may be. And the talent is just, off the charts on this. Were you doing some of this watercolor and pottery before you lost your sight, Jennifer?
No, great question. I only became an artist after I lost my sight. I was busy raising my boys and working. And I, being blind, I don't call it a disability. I call it an ability to continue living my life as a blind woman.
Well, 100%. You kidding me? It's terrific. What do you like doing more, watercolor or pottery, or about the same?
I love the pottery. I love the ceramics, working with my hands.
Right, exactly. So when you do the watercolor, you have in your mind, this is what I want to put on the canvas? Or do you sort of start and then it goes from there?
I pretty much have in my mind, I build my picture on the canvas with wiki sticks. They're like waxy pipe cleaners that can bend and cut them to the shapes that you want to build your picture with.
The reason why my mom was an artist, and she had a gallery in Beverly Hills in L.A., and she did watercolors and oils and all that. I got no talent. I can't even do a stick figure, for God's sake. I put stick figures to shame in this. So I just really applaud talented folks that can do this type of stuff. We're chatting with our good friends and gifted blind artists, crafters, and knitters. Pearl Mecenas is the founder of the organization, joined by her colleague, Jennifer Finlan, focusing on pottery and watercolor. I'm Drew Schlosberg. As you're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, we are the nation's longest running community podcast. We're in our 19th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union for 6 decades. This wonderful organization has been focused on food insecurity, the homeless, financial literacy, you name it. So they're just an absolute treasure to work with these folks on this. What's in the dark, Pearl? What is in the dark?
Thank you for asking. In the Dark is a collaboration project that we have with the University of San Diego, specifically with the Engineering Exchange for Social Justice. That's my biggest collaboration partner there. And it's an experience where folks can immerse themselves in the arts and dining and music and gifting in the dark. We actually had our first benefit last year where the public has an opportunity to meet blind and low vision artisans close up They can get a chance to interact and see how they actually craft their artwork, given that they are blind and low vision. And then the main event involves dinner in the dark, where folks could have the option to wear a blindfold. And my collaboration partner, Dr. Odesma Dalrymple, does a wonderful metaphorical description of what they're about to eat. And then from there, they eat it, and then they take their blindfolds off, and they can see whether what they thought in their head actually matched, what they're eating. The evening is also complemented by Dancing in the Dark, where Sean Mackey does an exhibition where he plays music and then describes how you should move your body. And then we'll also have a variety of raffles and then gifting in the dark.
I know someone who's near and dear to my heart is near and dear to your heart too, Perla Myers at USD School of Leadership and Sciences and the Jacobs Institute. I think she brought your name to us as well. When we come back from break, Pearl and Jennifer want to talk a little bit more about In the Dark. Fascinated about this activity you have when you take people who have some vision and blindfold them. We like to do that also with folks that we work with the San Diego Council on Literacy. And we tell people, imagine you wake up one day and you can't read. Well, that's what 600,000 people have that issue in our region. I think that's a great activity. And then we'll save some time in the second half of the interview, Jennifer and Beryl. What can our listeners do to support what you're doing, what efforts, when we return with the gifted blind artists, crafters, and knitters, Pearl Mecenas. She is the founder, joined by her colleague, Jennifer Finlan. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and we will be right back after this short break.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. So honored to have in the studio with us today from some gifted blind artists, crafters, and knitters. Pearl Mecenas is the founder, joined by her colleague, Jennifer Finlan, of pottery and watercolor. I'll start with you on this, Jennifer, and then pivot over to you, Pearl. I can always ooze and hear it out of your voice anyway, but what has this done for you? How cool has it been to be involved with this organization?
It's been such a blessing. It's been a life changer. I believe if I wasn't doing this, that I would just be at home not doing a whole lot. Pearl gets me out in the community, gets all of the artists out in the community selling our pieces and doing workshops. I've been doing a lot of workshops lately, teaching others. San Diego State, the Delta Gamma, I just did a workshop with all the girls and taught them how to make roses. So it's just wonderful getting out in the community. And like I said, being an advocate and raising awareness to the blind and low vision.
How do you make a rose?
Very carefully.
Exactly.
Make it with clay.
Okay.
And I divide a little piece of clay into like 8 different pieces, and each petal is hand pressed. So I press each petal, and then I take a first petal and I kind of roll it into like a You would say like a taquito.
Yeah.
And then from there, I take another petal and I raise it a little bit higher than the first one and wrap it around. And then take another petal and wrap it. And as I'm wrapping it, I'm bending each petal back.
So how big will this thing look when it's all done?
I have all different size roses. I have a teeny tiny rose that can be used as a magnet. I have a tea rose, which is glued on a golf tee, so it can be put in a house plant.
Nice.
I have a Finlan rose, which is my signature Finlan rose. That's my last name. So that's a rose. It can also be used. You can put a candle in it as well. And then I have multiple roses. I have a Trinity rose, which is my 3 rose. And then I have like 5 to 7 roses put together. It's my Forever Finlan rose bouquets. So I have all different sizes of roses.
No, I think that's terrific. I know the answer to this question, but I'll ask it anyway, Pearl. You must be amazed at the roses she does.
They are mind-blowing. It's fascinating because some of the comments that I hear from the public when they see their rose, surprisingly, is, "Are you really blind?"
Yeah. Well, listen, I can understand. I don't think they mean any ill will on that.
Definitely.
It's just an awe.
They are remarkable. She actually has an example to show you today.
Oh, beautiful. And, for our folks listening on the internet, Jennifer is pulling out this thing. If you hear a gasp, that's going to be me going, my goodness. But I do know Jennifer is blind on this. Oh, my goodness. Look at this thing. It's gorgeous. Oh, my. It's let's see if I can even. It's a beautiful looking rose. It's white, or is that off white? What color would you say that is?
I would call it antique white.
Antique white, very, very good. Beautifully put together and molded, smooth as can be. You can see the petals around it and all that. How long did it take you to make this?
That took me about half an hour.
Half an hour?
Yes.
I can start on this today, and then when you come back on in 3 months, I will have had no progress.
I would love to have you in one of my workshops, Drew.
You know what? I'm going to make a point of that. I'm going to absolutely I'll get the contact with, and just don't say the guy in the back over here that is absolutely failing miserably. He's giving it a shot, and that's all that counts, right?
Yes, I wouldn't be able to see you anyway.
Yeah, well, you know what? I know you would. You would have a 6th sense and a 10th sense and all that business. We're chatting again with Jennifer Finlan. She's a pottery and watercolor expert, part of Gifted Blind artists and crafters and knitters, joined by the founder of the organization, Pearl Mecenas. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. So talk a little bit about, we see that certainly Jennifer's involved in the pottery and the watercolors, but Sean, who couldn't make it, is a DJ, an entertainer, and so forth. What other types of things do people do in the organization?
Sure. A lot of different things. I have a woman, Joyce Porter, who does beaded jewelry, and is also popular for her handmade fabric wreaths. I have a woman, Marianne Mesa, who does an assortment of knits, from hand warmers to hats to purses. I have an accomplished author who's published more than a dozen books.
Nice.
His name is Mark Carlson. And Salvador Dominguez does paracord braiding, which is essentially a parachute cord that you can use in a variety of ways. He makes keychains and bracelets with them.
That's it. Now, do people like, and Jennifer, you can answer this too, and then Pearl jump in. Do people have requests and say, okay, Jennifer, man, I just saw because I'm going to show off this, this rose. I know I have to return it to you. So, but I'm going to take a picture of it and show some people that I'm going to be with later today and see if they can get engaged in this aspect of it. Do you take requests, Jennifer?
Yes, we take special orders. Yes, from colors to different sizes to if you wanted a candle rose or a multiple rose bouquet. Yes, we take special orders.
So let me ask you this. Okay. Put you on the spot, sort of, but not really. I have a beloved golden lab, okay? And Jackson's 2 years old. He's about the size of this room. Could you do sort of a rose depiction of Jackson, or that's just too hard to do?
I believe that would be too hard, but what I could do is make him like a pet bowl.
Oh,
I make bowls and plates, so I could make a bowl for him.
Perfect. You know what? I'm going to tell Jackson when I get home, that you're going to have a specialty item, which I'm happy to pay any amount for on this. So, Pearl, when you have the artists with you and so forth, are they at events? Are they, going at different exhibits? How does that work?
Yes. So our pop-ups essentially is like a mobile shopping experience. And so what we do is they accompany me, we showcase their artwork. And when it comes to buying something, then at that point I step in, or my staff will step in to transact. And each purchase actually accompanies their postcard, because it's important to me that for each person that buys a product from Gifted Bag, that they not only walk away with something meaningful, handmade by someone that's blind and low vision, but they also understand the story behind that individual.
Yeah, and again, I want to shout out the work with the University of San Diego with this collaborative event called In the Dark. It's going to be Saturday, October 4th. I'm assuming it's on the campus. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. It's going to be on the campus at the La Grande Terraza.
Oh, it's a beautiful area. Yeah, that's good. What time does it start?
There's a pre-artisan event, so there's an optional ticket for $25 where the public can choose to meet artisans up close. That's from 5 to 6.
Right.
And the main event is going to be from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Jennifer, are you going to be there?
I will be there.
Okay, very good. October the 4th. I might have to just sneak in there. I think I'm in town. I'm not sure. We do a lot of work with USD and USD Jacobs Institute with Perla Myers and so forth in this area. I'll start with you on this, Jennifer, and then pivot over to Pearl. What can our listeners do to support your efforts personally, Jennifer, and the efforts of the organization?
Well, you can go on our website. We have a website where you could order pieces. If you look there and find something you like, you could also come follow us on social media and come to where we have pop-ups, or come to one of our workshops. I would love to meet some viewers in the workshops and show them how to make some roses and bowls.
Yeah, so I just put this beautiful rose on my photo gallery, and I'll be pointing this thing out for quite a while. And then I'll also give them your email as well. For you, Pearl, how can we support you? Can we donate? Can we volunteer? You need product? You need money? All of the above? All
of the above. So in addition to what Jennifer said and what you said, folks can also follow us on our social media. On Instagram, that's Gifted Bag. On Facebook, that's Gifted Bag Cause. To see where we are in the community, pay us a visit, say hello, shop our collections. And then also for organizations that have aligned mission and vision, please contact me to see if there's an opportunity to collaborate, whether that means showing up at your space and doing a pop-up or doing a workshop with one of our blind and low vision artisans.
I think it's an amazing team building activity. And if I'm a business, whether it's Mission Fed Credit Union, where we are in the studio here, or Qualcomm, or pick a topic, Ed's Vacuum Shop, doesn't make a difference. What a great team building activity. Right. And, certainly with Jennifer teaching them how to do roses or watercolors or pottery or everything in between. You both are inspirations to me personally. This will not be the last time you're going to be on the show.
Thank you.
So we want to have you come back on, certainly bring Sean on or whoever else in that area, and shout out the website one more time, Pearl.
Yes, giftedback.com. And I also want to say an extra thank you to Jacobs Institute, and also another special thank you to the Engineering Exchange for Social Justice at the University of San Diego for facilitating this introduction and relationship. Thank you, Drew.
Well, it's just getting started, Pearl. We're just getting started, Pearl. Jennifer, what a pleasure meeting you. You will be shocked because I'll probably be in one of your classes over here, and I'll be honored to do that as well.
Thank you so much for having us today.
Our pleasure. Gifted blind artist, crafters and knitters, Pearl Mecenas. He is the founder, joined by her colleague Jennifer Finlan, expert in pottery and watercolors. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest-running community podcast in our 19th year, brought to you by the fine folks of Mission Fed Credit Union. 6 decades of doing great things for people living in our region. And to our listeners, we hope you enjoyed the interview.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show. amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.